I see Nicci has shown up in the green room, and I want to bring her on board because we want to go ahead and now talk about what it is that Reiki is, because she has been a Reiki healer for several years. Miss Nicci Roscoe.
Hi. How are you?
Welcome back to the American Gumption Show for the third time. You're our first third-time guest. I can't believe it.
Thank you for having me. I know. Third time. How fabulous is that?
One of your friends from social media said, Steve, you have to create a third-time guest theme to welcome Nicci this time. And I don't have, I think it's a good idea, but I don't have it. Maybe we have to make Nicci's own theme song. I don't know what we're going to do. So, Nicci, let me do this. So let me just tell people who you are briefly. And I'm going to, at the end, I'm going to just mention what we talked about in the first two times that you were there. And then we're going to dive into what it means to be a Reiki healer and what Reiki's all about, just sort of the basics, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Good.
Sure.
All righty. So Nicci Roscoe is a master NLP practitioner, a life and business coach, a crystal healing practitioner, and a Reiki healing practitioner. She trained with meditation guru Deepak Chopra, worked in the fitness industry, and has a media background working on television and radio. She has written articles and been interviewed for national magazines and newspapers, including the Daily Mail, the Mail on Sunday's You magazine, and the Mail on Sunday's Health section. She's also worked in the fashion, beauty, and fitness for Company magazine. Nicci is author of Fabulous Impact, Step into the New You and Rewrite Your Own Script. And here's the best part. Her new book, My Crystal Guide, is coming out in the spring of 2021. We're going to have you back for that. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And that's actually for 7+ and for everybody. So that's going to be really exciting. Written with my partner, Philip Hermit. So that's going to be great. Really looking forward to that.
Awesome. All right. So now Nicci appeared on the American Gumption morning show. Let me say that again. She appeared on the American Gumption morning show on August 17th, and that was show number 17. And today is show number 40. So we're moving forward. She told during that session, we went through her full story, including her brain surgery, where she had a tumor removed and had to, relearn how to walk and talk and live life as a average, regular, ordinary person. And that occurred back in the early 2000s. So not quite 20 years ago. And then again, 1 week later on September 1st, show number 21, Nicci came back and brought a whole big pile of crystals and showed us her crystal collection and what she does there. So I just encourage people to go back and watch show 17 or 21 to see that full story. So with that, Nicci Roscoe, welcome back to the American Gumption Morning Show for the third time.
Thank you, Steve. And I'm absolutely delighted to be here. I really am. This is wonderful. And, you said about when we were talking previously and sort of things that I've done, and everything that I've done since I had my brain tumor in 2001, 2002, I was operated on. I've used that to help others. I've used all of that to make those changes. And one of the things that I have used, and previously to that, because I was in the health and fitness industry, but one of the things I've used since and become since is a master crystal healing teacher and a Reiki teacher. So I'm a Reiki master healer teacher now. And the wonderful thing is that I now have the opportunity to help others to become Reiki masters, help others to become Reiki healers as well. And Reiki the word means universal life force energy. And it's the energy that's in all of us and is known in Chinese philosophy as Qi and Sanskrit text as prana. And Yasui Sensei, he founded the system of Reiki healing, and he put this together from different things such as Buddhism and Chinese shamanism in the early 20th century. And he originally taught it in a really traditional Eastern way, where he would have a student come and live with him and have this student help him in his daily life, doing his washing and his ironing and his cooking even, and helping him to give Reiki healing treatments to others, until the essence of the sensei, and sensei means master in Japanese, passes to the student. And that was what's so wonderful. That's how he was able to pass this on to others and teach others. And on September the 1st, 1923, was the Great Kanto earthquake in Japan, which, according to Wikipedia, was the worst natural disaster ever to strike Japan. And the death toll for that was about 140,000 people. Absolutely horrendous. And then there were hundreds and thousands of people that were injured and needed help. And Yasui Sensei realized in that moment that he needed lots of Reiki healers quickly and a new way to train Reiki healers. And he invented the Reiki attunement system. And that's what we have today. And that's what which we pass on the amazing energy of a Reiki master. We pass this on to our students in a controlled and really wonderful way, which allows anyone, even if they've done no energy or spiritual work at all, to become a Reiki healer in 2 days. So for me, this is a miracle of Reiki. Anyone can do it, and anyone can be trained in it. And it's really quick, and it is so powerful. And I've experienced it myself, because as I mentioned before, one of the first things as I was, coming out of after having my brain tumor operation, I live with chronic pain, and it's how I manage it. And one of the most wonderful things was having Reiki myself, and then training as a Reiki practitioner, along with all the other things that I did.
We were raised in Western medicine, and we were taught that we're all separate, and that we need something external to come in to heal us, whether it be a pill or a narcotic or an antibiotic. And so this was the foundation that I certainly grew up with. And I'm assuming that in England, you the same kind of thinking. And so this energy that really connects all of us together is really now being understood in a way that from a science point of view, wasn't really able to be proven. It was sort of just like it just sort of worked, but it was looked at like maybe, like shamanism or some kind of a crazy religion thing. And yet now we're beginning to see the science catch up and energy, like be able to measure energy and the transfer of energy from individual to individual. And so it's just funny that as I was sharing with my father a few weeks ago, I said, Nicci's coming back and she's going to talk about it. And he said, oh my gosh, Reiki's, like bad. Now, he didn't say it in a condemning way. He just said it in a way that was like a memory that he said, because I'm not sure what it is and I don't understand it. So I ended up doing a little bit of research and found out that the Catholic Church doesn't approve of it. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. It doesn't make sense because it's actually been working. So talk about the energy portion and, how do from your experience, how does it work? How does it, do you have an example or two of how it's worked? So just share some of that with us.
Well, from my experience and knowing what I do, it can help any ailment, whether it's physical, emotional, psychological, or spiritual. And the Reiki practitioner, by channeling Reiki through the whole of their client's energy system means that the practitioner doesn't have to know what's wrong or where the energy needs applying, because they're treating the whole physical body and the chakras and the aura. So it's our whole energy systems that we're working through. And actually in America, practitioners give treatments which are hands off over the body in the aura. So the aura is our energy field around, energy field around you and in every living thing. And in the UK, some people do hands-on and some people do hands-off. But now with the onset of COVID, everyone's using hands-off and non-contact. And Reiki can also be sent long distance. So I think a great way for you to experience this, Steve, and for anybody listening to experience this, is to have a go with me long distance. So for instance, when I hold my hands over a client, it varies. You know, I'll be holding them over different areas of their body. I'll be putting my hands in different areas, and the energy, the universal energy, will come through my hands. So Steve, if you're to pop up back on the screen again and we can see each other, and anybody, you know, everybody that's watching, please join in and do this with me as well. And if you just very gently pop your hands in front of the screen, that's it. And just bring your hands together and focus, just focus. And I'm going to send you some wonderful healing energy right now. So you may be feeling some tingling in your hand, you may be feeling some warmth, some comfort. And I'm sending you this with love. And it's energy coming from me, through me, to you. And you're all the way in America and I'm here, so just feel that. And then, Steve, if you can tell me how that feels for you.
I initially did feel some tingling as I was focusing on my hands. And then there was a warmth that actually started to occur. And so I definitely, you know, felt a connection and an energy that was brought forth.
I mean, the wonderful thing is, as I said, anybody can heal anybody. You use Reiki healing. You can all have the universal energy coming through you. And to actually become a Reiki practitioner, where you learn the different, where you are given different attunements to make you more powerful, is what is really important. So there's the first degree, then there's the second degree, and then there's the master teacher. And on the second degree, you're taught the sacred symbols, and this helps to enhance all the power of the treatments, which is so wonderful. And, you know, as a master teacher now, this gives me the opportunity to teach others and to enable others to become even more powerful, to be able to pass that on to others and to help and heal. Because once you experience this and you open your heart up to this, it's the most unbelievable feeling, and it really does help you in all areas, as I said, you know, whether it's physical, emotional, psychological, spiritual. And, you know, I've had clients, a client that came in recently and she really hurt her shoulder. She'd been overplaying tennis or and being in the gym. And I just said to her, let's just sit for a minute, let me just sort of place my hands behind your shoulder. And again, because of COVID situations now, we're hands off completely. As I know in America, you are hands off. And she felt heat. Sometimes you feel tingling. Sometimes you might not feel anything. As a healer, I feel pain in my hands where my client or where the person actually is suffering, and so that energy just comes through me even more. So this client actually felt a difference, and the next day when she woke up, she's hardly felt any pain there at all. And since then, we've given her another treatment, and she's back up and running again. So it really can help heal, but makes you feel better. And it just depends what it is you need. So I'm not against medical, to going to a doctor. I'm, as you know, I've had a major operation, and I'm not against any of that. But what I do know, and what I really believe, and I've seen with my own eyes, is how powerful Reiki healing is, and also combined with other modalities such as crystal healing. And wow, when you combine Reiki and crystal healing, and I see that smile on your face because you know me and my crystals and how wonderful they all are. If I have an orange calcite here with me at the moment, and that's for calming. But orange calcite also makes you laugh, and it's for great fun too as well. Having fun, orange calcite, absolutely. So when I combine the two, and when you combine the two, it is the most wonderful, wonderful healing experience for somebody, and the vibrations that just shoot through from both, because you have the vibrations and the strength and the wonderfulness from the crystals healing, and then on top of that you have the universal energy coming through and giving that extra power through the crystals and through the body. It's just it's wonderful. If you haven't experienced Reiki healing, and just open your mind. You don't have to believe in anything. Open your mind and just close your eyes, or keep your eyes open, whatever good for you, and just let somebody, sort of give you some healing, because you'll experience, like we just did, Steve, you'll experience something that you've never experienced before.
I'm going to tell a little bit of a story here, Nicci, and there's a quote that I'm thinking of, and I think it was Henry Ford, the automobile guy, and I think it was him, but it was from that era, and he said, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right.
Yeah.
And then I remember going to the chiropractor for the first time, and I remember them working on my my shoulders and saying, gee, I can feel these knots in your muscles. And I was kind of like it was like a whole new opening for me, because it was like, really, like the muscles have knots in them that somebody could feel. And I remember like being very like awakened to like new ideas that I had not previously thought. I mean, I would have thought that's crazy that somebody could just feel a muscle and actually feel what's going on inside the muscle. So now you jump forward to the energy and the idea that the body, okay, it has knots in your shoulder. Well, that's like a restricted energy force. And so I'm thinking an advanced Reiki healer with their hands over the body, not actually touching it, but is able to, because they've developed that sensitivity to the energy of other people, they can actually feel different energy forces. And you said that they don't necessarily need to know exactly, what the story was that got them there, or how it happened, or even exactly what it is that's going on, but they just can sense that there's this energy in the body. And again, this energy is being able to be measured scientifically these days, where they can see it, they can measure the body emitting different energy from the energy centers, the chakras, and so anyway, I'm just I'm glad that you came in and talked about it, and really when you think about the religions, they talked about the same thing, just having a faith and a belief that healing was possible. And so so in my book, like I'm for all of the above as far as like what healing potentials are. There's certain things that Western medicine is wonderful, but I also believe that that pills and narcotics and antibiotics are not the solution to many of the problems, but this energy work is really a more effective way of doing it. And Reiki is just one of those energy works. Am I missing anything? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it really does make sense. We have all different kinds of medications that we can have. And yes, of course, some people do need them. Absolutely. However, there are also these wonderful, wonderful healing practices that you can go and you can get help with, like Reiki, which is so powerful and so wonderful that it comes from the energy force. It comes from a universal energy force. So it comes through us, and it is real. We can feel it. We can feel the tingling in our fingers. We can feel the heat coming from our hands, and perhaps we can feel the pain. As I said, as I feel pain. I mean, I remember when I had my first attunements, when I did my first degree level, the pain that came through my hands, because the power that it released was unbelievable. So you can imagine that you right now, or anybody that's watching this, and anyone else, you can all do it. But can you imagine how much more powerful you'd be if you even took your first degree of your Reiki practice? I mean, how wonderful would that be? So yes, there are many energies, there are many different modalities that we can use now, so much more, and we have so much more knowledge than we ever used to, and people are starting to be so much more open. They are starting to believe, and I think especially now in COVID times, this is when we really can open up, because there aren't any pills that are just going to make it go away right now. Coronavirus, it's not just going away, and we're waiting for a vaccine. But why wait for anything? Take care of yourself. Look after your immune system. Use Reiki. Find a Reiki practitioner that is going to be able to help you, because it can help you in all kinds of ways. It can help you mentally as well, with your mental energy, because psychologically and spiritually, it's the most wonderful thing to be able to help you to it. For me, it is a truly remarkable healing. A truly remarkable healing. And this, along with meditation, which I believe is wonderful for those to find clarity, to find peace, to find calm, is also so important. And as I mentioned before, putting it together with other things like your crystals, but just being open-minded. And yeah, the energies that are coming through now. Actually, if you think about it, when we had started to have coronavirus, when it actually all sort of really came into action and we were all in lockdown, there was silence outside. You couldn't hear any planes. There was no smog. There was nothing. It was just pure, beautiful nature.
Yeah.
And we felt that energy.
Nicci, I want to share, Bruce Mitchell calls it pure love that is happening. And he also said that the healer is just the channel, and it's source energy coming through to the patient. And I think that's really important. The universe or source is where the energy is coming from, and the healer is just strictly helping the patient connect with that source energy. So that's beautiful what Bruce said.
Yeah, absolutely, Bruce. That is absolutely spot on. We are the source energy, because whatever the energy is coming through from above, from the universe, that is what's coming through us. That's what's channeling through us to our patients, to others. It's not us. We are just a pure vessel. We're just carrying that energy through. And that's wonderful. That's great you came on and sent us that message, Bruce.
Yeah, and he also here's a nice easy one for you. I love working with crystal skills. I'm assuming. What are your thoughts on this, Nicci? So I'm sure that's an easy one for you.
Oh wow, Bruce! Yes, crystal skulls. Well, I have to tell you, for many years I was not into my crystal skulls, and all of a sudden, one day I started working with a 4-year-old. And this 4-year-old wasn't doing very well because she was sleeping outside her parents' bedroom door on the floor with her toys, and she wouldn't go to bed. So they asked if I would see her. And she came to our crystal showroom. And one of the first things she picked up was a beautiful crystal skull. It was an amethyst skull and a clear quartz skull. And she absolutely loved them. And then for some reason, all of a sudden, and I wish I had her here next to me right now, but she isn't, I found this tiny little rose quartz skull, who I named Rose, aptly, who became my friend. And whatever I did, wherever I went, and she's actually in the other room right now, Rose would always be with me. And there's times where I give healings and all of a sudden Rose appears. But skulls are absolutely wonderful. Skulls are good things. Sometimes I used to look at skulls and think, oh goodness, I'm not going anywhere near a skull. I can't bear it. Actually, they're really good. They're kind. They're your friends. And we need to embrace them. When are you going to get a skull, Steve?
You see, this, my knowledge keeps expanding, and I was sharing with our Spirituality Gone Wild founder Debbie G yesterday that I said, I don't feel like I want to be the teacher. We were talking about my show. I just want to forever be the student, and I can bring in Nicci, who can be the teacher, and tomorrow we'll have someone else who's the teacher, and so. But of course, it's never ending, the possibilities, and so kind of to wrap this up. The Reiki is really a form of energy healing where you just focus source energy, the energy of the universe that connects all of us, and you use that to either help a physical or a mental ailment that a person is having. I think that's really the simplest way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Reiki is, well, the word means universal life force energy. So it's the energy that's in all of us, and that energy comes through us. We're the vessel, and it comes through us. It comes through our hands to heal others. So yes, that is right.
Nicci, your email address is floating along down there. Nicci Roscoe at mindmedication.co.uk, and that's how people can contact you. If someone has an interest, you are a master Reiki teacher. If someone wanted to do an online course, could they contact you and somehow take a lesson from you?
They can contact me and we can see what we can do. Absolutely. Yes, for sure. And you can go onto my website as well, which is www.mindmedication.co.uk, which is down there.
Very good. All righty. Well, any last words on Reiki? Otherwise, we'll wrap up this show, and we'll have to have you come back, and we'll continue the conversation about NLP or something else, or maybe we'll go back in the crystals, or how crystals and Reiki work together in combination. Because the last show we really focused on the crystals, and this one we tried to lay the foundation for Reiki. So anyway, I just enjoyed these conversations, and I'm grateful that you take the time to come and join us and educate and be the teacher.
Pleasure. I really enjoy being here. It's a great show. Thank you so much. It's wonderful. We'll just embrace the energy, embrace this universal life force energy of Reiki, and anything that you know that is natural to help you heal, just do it. Just go for it. Don't think, just do it. And be open and
Yeah.
take
All
care.
right. Thank you, Nicci.
Okay, bye.